All right, if you could please take your seats, we'll be getting started with our next session. Thank you. Our next session is titled An End-to-End CRM Strategy, CLTV, Customer Segmentation, and Personalization. It will be led by Tian Su. She's a senior manager data scientist currently leading the end-to-end model development and deployment of personalization, CRM, and object recognition projects at 7-Eleven. Her experience extends across the full spectrum of AI solution cycle from data mining, model building to product productionization. Tian received her bachelor degree from Peking University in China, finished her master's degree at Heidelberg University in Germany, and obtained her PhD from Yale University. Please join me in welcoming Tian to the stage.
Thank you for the introduction. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming to my talk. I'm Tian. I'm a data scientist at 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is the biggest convenience store chain in the US. We have near 10,000 stores here in this country. The company is over 90 years old, but the digital division is about under 4 years old. And our digital AI team is just 1.5 years old. It's quite a new team. So here is a picture of our team. They were having beer together, a great time last Friday. And you may notice that I was not there with them. I was not in the picture. And that's because I was on maternity leave, being home with this little girl. This is my second daughter. Suffice to say, last year was a quite productive year. We rolled out 4 full production grade projects, and we delivered 2 beautiful girls. One is mine, and the other is a Masfin girl. I was one of the founding member of this team. Just like Joe earlier said, that it's quite a journey. It's quite a journey to build a team from ground up. It's quite a journey to explore the vast white space of this company and to introduce AI and data-backed decision-making to the company and transform the way we think about our business. So when data science talk about end-to-end, we normally think about the end-to-end pipeline for AI product, from the data ingestion into the lake to feeding the data into the model, feed the model, and get the model score, translate that score into some signal that can be visualized for the customer, integrate the signal into the front-end app so customer can see it. But if we take a step back, think about the AI effort as a whole, that end-to-end can have a different meaning. So here I want to share with you some of the lessons learned, or the most important point I think I want to address based on my experience in the past year. But when I think about these points, these aspects about end-to-end, compare it to my previous jobs in other companies, such like Capital One, which is more established company that has bigger data scientist team, they hold true. The only difference is that if you are in a younger organization, you are in an early stage of your data science team establishment, you have a bigger influence in these factors, and you will have a better chance to be able to shape it in these areas. So these areas are consistency through a project, collaboration across teams, cohesion of project portfolios. What do I mean by that? I want to address these points with an example. So I want to talk about personalization, but by no means that these points only apply to personalization. If you think about it, it will apply to most of your project you experienced in the past and more projects yet to come to you. What does consistency through a project really means when I say it? So a good data scientist will be able to build a pipeline and a good model, ML model. An even better data scientist will be able to think about the design of these pipelines and those models and design of the testing plan. But rarely, data scientists has the mindset of thinking early steps, or they just purely don't have the opportunity or the influence to really think about these steps. But it's interesting, these steps are probably the most important steps in a project development, and data science are uniquely equipped with the skill set to help the organization think through them. What do I mean by analyze the current business? Here is a more concrete example I want to show you. So 7-Eleven digital platform has these two major apps. One app is a loyalty app, the other one is a delivery app. So loyalty app is a customer engagement app. We provide promotions to our customer, such as coupons that you can buy a product as a discount, or bonus offer that you can accumulate points and redeem them later for other products. And delivery app is more self-explanatory by its name. It's a delivery service. The bigger selling point of our delivery program, delivery app, is that because of our dense footprint in most of the major cities, we can deliver to your door under 30 minutes, which means if you're having a party and run out of beer, you can order from our app, and before your guests start to fight for that last beer, you're going to have new beer delivered to you. And yesterday, I saw that we just announced a new feature. You can drop a pin on the Google map, and then we can deliver it to wherever you are. So if you are in Central Park, you are having a picnic with your family or friends, and suddenly want to crave for a Slurpee. You can order from our app and get it delivered to Central Park to you. So if you think about personalized recommendation engine, delivery app is a natural place that you will think about this kind of project. Delivery app is actually suggesting or selling you product, and at the same time, we have sufficient number of products that high enough number to hit the problems such as long tail problem and choice overload. So I thought when I started looking into our business, I thought delivery app is a natural place. But if I think about loyalty app, I had my doubt, because we have under 100 promotions for this loyalty app. It's not nearly hitting the threshold of choice overload or long tail problem. But when I dig deeper, I start to realize we are not Facebook. So no customer flip through our pages looking at our deals one by one. Their attention span to our app is actually very short. If we cannot capture their attention within 30 seconds, our promotion is not going to be that efficient. So that argues for a good use case of recommendation engine. We really want to surface those relevant offers for our customer so they can immediately see it, and the real value can be delivered to them, and we can have a better engagement. So this is what I meant by really understand your business and think about your use case. I remember one of the audience asked Joe about how can you know early on about which project is more promising, and this is one of the ways you could think about your projects. The next one, once you analyze your business, you want to think about strategize your business goals. So say, for example, if your business goals is to increase your bottom line 30%, and then your timeline is 1 month, and you have one data scientist. So that really, I would suggest don't invest into a personalization project, recommendation project, because it's a customer engagement project. Just like most of the meaningful relationship, you don't expect a return immediately. It's normally a return down the road in several years. So you really have to think about what's your business goals and what kind of project you really want to invest into. And then after that, you decided probably you want to invest into a personalized recommendation engine, and then you need to really think about the resource you want to put onto that project. When I think about resources, I think about from two different aspects. One is people, the other is tech stack. So tech stack is more familiar to us data scientists. For example, you want to choose between a private cloud and a public cloud. And there are at least five major public cloud providers. Each of them provide different offerings, at least IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, and you can choose from them. And within each of these offerings, there are many, many different products. Sometimes I even think that we should have a recommendation engine just purely for how to choose these tech stacks. But if you think choosing a tech stack is hard enough, choosing the right people to work on that project is even harder. So there are a lot of solutions available in the market to staff your project. You can grow a team internally in your company. You could work with a staffing company to help you build a team. You could also work with a consultant company that already have a team, and they will get that team on-site to work with you to provide you the solution. Or you can choose to work with a third-party company who already have a solution, and they'll have 1 or 2 lead data scientists to come on-site and integrate their solution into your business. But whichever path you want to choose, I would strongly suggest you have a data science team within your company, no matter how small it is. Because you really need, with this explosion of AI and machine learning, you really need this resident expert who has your best interest in their heart and help you to tell the good from the bad. Otherwise, you could regret your decision. You invest into a platform and you could regret your decision later on down the road. But build a data scientist team, even a very small team, is not a small effort. So here is my effort in the past year. So I went through about almost 500 profiles, resumes, LinkedIn profiles. I conducted 150 phone interviews, invited about 50 people on site for interviews, and end up with only 15 hires. And that was, I did a back of envelope calculation, and that was 300 hours of my time. And so calculate if you want to build a tiny team with 5 data scientists, you can expect about 100 hours to get 5 truly good ones. And also be very conscious about the first 1 or 2 you hire, because just like selecting AI machine learning providers, you want the expert to help you to select the best data scientist for your team as well, especially when you have a team that's small. So after talking about the resources, I think design, build, and test are mostly the stages we're mostly familiar with. I'm going to go fast with some examples that you may or may not normally consider as these steps. So app design. This is our delivery app, 7Now app. And you may notice that the Just For You session, which is a recommendation engine, is at the middle of the screen. That's the first option you could choose as a customer. Compared to our delivery app, this is 7 Reward app. On the homepage, there's no mention of recommendation engine whatsoever. And you can only see the recommended for you in the deal page. Research showed that many of our customers just come to the homepage and use it as a store card, scan the barcode, accumulate the points, and never even go to the deals page. So for these customers, they were not even exposed to recommendation engines. Of course, my recommendation engine's impact will be 0 to them. No wonder, like when I analyze the result of delivery app and reward app, I see a bigger bottom line impact in my delivery app compared to the 7 Reward app. It's a design-conscious design. We only have sufficient space to put on enough things on the homepage. And at that stage, we sacrifice the recommendation engine. But consider the reward app has 100 times more users compared to the delivery app. This small impact is worth it, worth the investment. I really want to skip the build part because that's our bread and butter. I can go on and on talking about the build part for days. And you are all, most of you are the expert in this. So let me skip build to the test part. Taskbar, I want to point out one very interesting thing, a special case for the recommendation engine. So compared to most of the predictive models you encountered before, predictive models believe that history is going to repeat itself. So if history is not going to repeat itself, it's really stressful to us because you cannot predict the future with history anymore. But recommendation engine have this core belief in its heart that customer didn't know what exactly they want. They need our help. They need recommendation engine's help to make the best decision. So our goal is to shift their behavior. In that sense, that our historic data, historic purchase data is not a golden touchstone anymore. So in this case, to test whether your recommendation engine is really working, which version is working the best, you really have to test with customer. You need to roll it out and see the customer response. That means you need to have a robust testing platform, at least A/B testing platform. Otherwise, recommendation engine, you could just roll it out without any learning of building this project. So next, what I want to talk about is collaboration across teams. An AI project, especially customer-facing project, is now small effort. It requires the collaboration of many, many teams. It's a complicated symphony for somebody to orchestra. And if you want somebody to really lead this effort, this person needs to be passionate believer of AI solution and also have sufficient understanding of all of these areas. I often find that traditional product managers may not be the best fit for this AI product manager role. They may be a very passionate AI believer, but sometimes they don't have the expertise, especially in those technical areas. But then on the other hand, think about who data scientists are. You probably encountered those Venn diagram with 3 circles describing what kind of skill data scientists should have. A good skill in computer science, a deep understanding of statistics, and be able to understand business and drive business value. You may also encounter some more comprehensive graph like what I'm showing here. All these skills feed into what you want to look ideally in a data scientist. But for people who want to become a data scientist or for people who want to hire really good data scientists, you may think this is too much to ask for one person to really have, right? So you are looking for the unicorn. It's really unrealistic. But I want to propose a different way of thinking about this. I think this is the exact reason why data scientists exist. Because data scientists are not merely machine learning model builders. If you may already know that in Facebook, in Google, people who build machine learning models, especially those complicated ones, they have title as software engineers. They're not data scientists. So data scientists not only focus on machine learnings. This is because our development of AI and the machine learning solutions, if you want to incorporate these solutions into your business, you really, really need somebody who can connect the dots, who can be the bridge of all of these gaps. So this is why data scientist role exists, and we were born to do this. So if you are a senior data scientist, you probably are expert. You're expert in many of these areas and have sufficient understanding on some of the other areas. I would think, please consider to step into this leadership role, be this AI product manager. And if you are an accountable executive looking for a good solution for your project, consider to put a seasoned data scientist on that role and give him or her the full support you could have so he or her can help you release the full power of AI solution. Last one I want to talk about is the cohesion of the project portfolio. What do I mean by that? So I can build the best recommendation engine in the world, but I really need upstream and downstream project to work together with my recommendation engine so it actually deliver value to our customer. We need to have first sufficient number of customers to really use this recommendation engine. And we also have to have really good product that our customer can buy. And these products have to be at the right price so they can afford it and they're willing to buy it. And then think about downstreams. No matter how good our recommendation engine is, if the app is really hard to use, then nobody is going to really care how good your recommendation is. And also fast and accurate delivery. So the worst case scenario I can imagine is that our customer gets so excited about our recommendation and then use the app, order something, and wait, and that order never come. And after 2-3 hours, they realize they received the email that the order is canceled. So you really, for you to really see the AI power, you have to have all of these projects work together. It's a portfolio. None of these projects should be taken into a consideration as isolation. Just like this old analogy of a wooden barrel theory. So each of the AI project is the plank of your barrel. Only when you have all of these planks work together, and most of them have a sufficient length, you will be able to hold the value of AI and benefit your organization. So that's the end of my talk. I share some of my thoughts about end-to-end. What does it mean? The 3 major points are address consistency through a project, collaboration across the team, cohesion of the project portfolio. I think those are the really beneficial point of view. You could start to think about your project, think about your team, and hopefully this can help your journey to be as excited as ours, but easier, less challenging. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Tian. That's the email. You can reach me, but the best way to reach me actually is LinkedIn. I'm happy to take any question.
Let's do it. So I'm Justin. I work at Macy's. Thank
Hi,
you for
Justin.
the comments. I'm curious for any marquee use case that you can share where organizing yourself in this fashion allowed you to get to market and have success.
In terms of a portfolio, project portfolio?
Anything you're allowed to actually share, from things that y'all did. So you've organized yourself and you've walked through sort of the process that you're using to get to an outcome.
Yes.
I'm curious about one of those successful outcomes, like this process worked really well for some problem you were trying to solve. Can you share any of those problems and how it went?
Sure. So one thing is think about which one worth building, which one not worth building. As I described, we were exploring a vast white space. We have, it's a luxury actually. We have many projects we could work on, and all of them are white space. And we picked the ones that we thought most valuable to our organization. One reason we built personalization engine ourselves is because we believe this is the core of our loyalty program, of our delivery program, of our customer engagement. And another reason is that this kind of program, you really want to keep evolving it. So if you use a third-party solution, you may already have the experience. Keep evolving some model with a third party is not the easiest thing. If you build it in-house, it will be easier for you to evolve if you're thinking this project as long-term. Another thing about think about your priority is. So I described the value of recommendation engine both to delivery and to loyalty, but I also made the conscious decision to build the platform on the delivery first, because that's a more typical use case. So we do build it scalable, and after that we test everything on the delivery app, we extend it to the loyalty app, and it's like a compounding effect. It's less effort, it's more benefit. So that's another example of it.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Richard with Best Buy. I was wondering, on your list, you had all your different, I would say, stakeholders that are involved
teams.
with your program. So for like a loyalty program, how do you see, how's your relationship with, so like PMs and designers are generally up front as well. How's your relationship with like, say, UX designers?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. Relationship is built. So at the very beginning, there are going to be some frictions. And after that, we are all reasonable people. We strike for the same goal. And then just we went out to lunch sufficient in a number of time, and we started to be friends and understand each other. It's just all about understanding. But to me, it's a personal reason that I work really well for the delivery program, with the delivery program, because their director is my friend. So the product manager director is my friend. On the other hand, I have a very good relationship with designers, because when I'm doing my computer science degree, I also took the course of computer-human interaction. And I was a big believer of user design, user experience design. I just truly, like any user-facing apps, you have to build a good customer experience. Personalization engine is all about customer experience. All the measuring matrix is also skewed towards it. So I really have this belief in my heart that designers are valuable. They are invaluable. So that's why I love them. So they also love me at the end of the day. But yeah, there were a lot of frictions, especially with. They do. They actually have very analytical mindset. And I think that's partially why they can understand their customer, not only based on customer interviews, but they also explore analytics. Yeah.
Hey, Tian. So on the slide behind you, you mentioned natural language processing. How much deep learning do you currently do right now? And maybe a second question is, you also mentioned all the options for cloud providers. So can you share who you decided to go with? And do you only use the cloud, or do you do anything on-premise as well?
So interesting question. The first one is about natural language processing. There is a link I cited, so this picture is not from me. So it's from another good blog writer. To answer your question about how much natural language processing we actually use, deep learning in general. So without really share with you proprietary information, just general philosophy, I believe that deep learning is not going to be the first model you go with for any of your AI effort. And we are a quite young team, so the use of deep learning is ramping up, but not broad and deep. I think deep learning has its own power, but on the other hand, the implementation of deep learning is more complicated. The pitfall is more, and it really depends on use case. Sometimes it adds a lot of value, sometimes it's just very marginal. So that's the answer to your first question. And the second question is about cloud provider. I think I can share this, is that we use multiple cloud providers. And actually, our director of our infrastructure director gave a talk about the benefit of using multiple cloud provider. I think the essence of his talk is about you have the flexibility. And nowadays, most of the cloud is built in the way, especially with API development, it's built in a way that you can easily use multiple cloud. The word easy, I have doubts in it. I encounter difficulties even with API, the speed, the efficiency, you always have to optimize it for. But sometimes the benefit outweighs really the difficulties. That's my answer about cloud. Sure.
Any other questions? All right. Let's give her a round of applause. All right.